Every day has something to look forward to as we count down to the Summer Cup, the Betway Summer Cup 2024. Tonight, or Wednesday, the 20th, we will know by about 7 o'clock this evening exactly what the barrier draws are for the contestants on the 30th of November. So do make sure to catch up as soon as the fields are released. Of course, you have to make some money to get involved in the Summer Cup itself. You can start taking your anti-post betting by having money in that account. And one of the many ways you can do that is loading your account via the Blue Voucher, which is easily accessible at any convenience store, and you're up and running. A very good morning to you. We're recording on a Wednesday morning for racing at Hollywood Bets Grave. We're back on the Poly, and we look forward to, of course, that draw coming through this evening. Right, with us, and he certainly has hit form, it is Mr. Gary John. Gary John, a very good morning to you. I hope Sunday was just a starter to what you've got for us today at the Hollywood Bets Grave.
Morning, Cecil, and morning to all the punters. Yes, today looks like a very good card in my eyes. I think we're going to make some money. I definitely like this card. I think there's a few winners for us today.
Right, let's start off on a winning note, and possibly, as far as I know, this could be one of the better bets on the afternoon.
Yes, Cecil, my best bet is in the first race here. It's Warrior of Royalty. I really do believe this is the right horse here. I feel that it's way down in class against this bunch. I think this form line's way better than this field. Just going back to its first poly run over the 1,000 to Chocolate Soldier, where it was draw 10 out of 12. There were some nice horses in that field. It was a strong field as well. And then its next poly run over the 1,100, which is obviously one from one course and distance, where it beat one too many. There were also a couple winners out of that form line. Just noting one, Mr. Headley, which came out to win very well in my eyes. If you are looking for a danger in this race, I think it will be number 3 in Bele. I know we've got it held, but you can put a line through its last run. It was draw 13 out of 13 and also coming off a layoff. Its previous form lines to Just Reckless, Cold Shine, and Cumrick. There were some nice sorts in that field, but I'm very strong in the camps of Warrior of Royalty. I'm going to be taking the 2-1. I think it's going to win today.
Thank you very much. You've sold us a Warrior of Royalty. Just to say Future Flow, that form line was, Frank, just last Wednesday when Night Warrior had to run second at 2 Future Flow, came out and won. Bipod Pool closes with the running of the first at 12:30. All right, so we're up and running as far as the meeting at Hollywood Bets Grave goes on this Wednesday. We're on the Poly track. We now get on to race number 2. And of course, don't forget that there are many betting opportunities on that Betway app. But the bottom line is that you have to have money in your account, and what easier way to do it than to purchase that Blue Voucher. And remember, anything to the value of 50 Rand or more, and that puts you in line to be part of that 50,000 Rand grand prize. Let's get to race number 2. Our first set of scratching comes about in race 2, and they are the 2 horses, number 5 Summerland and the 6 Amina, Queen Amina rather. They're both out, so it leaves us with a very small field of just 5 runners for that first leg of the PA. The merit rated 69 over the 2,000 meters. Blazing Light, that form line looks pretty good. The horse you liked last Wednesday, Lucretius, came out of that form line, Mr. Gary John. What else would you be looking to beat, and what else would you be putting on your ticket as far as they say in race 2?
Cecil, I really like a horse here, number 1, Double Olympic. I've been waiting for this horse to go over ground. I know it's putting up some really nice work back at home. And just going back to its run to Sunset Riot, coming off a rest at Scottsville, there was 2 winners out of that form line, that Frank the form line. Neither here nor there, that ran second to Sunset Riot, come out to win twice, and Imperial Power that come out to win twice. Also going to its run to Giambattista on the Poly, it wasn't a bad run in my eyes. I think this horse is going to love the step up in trip today. I make the dangers King Bavarian and Blazing Light, but I'm definitely going to have a nibble on Double Olympic. I think it's going to get it right in this field.
All right, you played it safe in that PA 1, 3, and 7 Double Olympic. The 3, that would be Duke of Africa, and the 7 That is a King Bavarian. That is the place accumulator commencing at 1:05 with a lowly handicap, a merit rated 69 over the 2000s. Okay, just to confirm at this juncture that Craig Zaki, the informed Craig Zaki, much traveling Craig Zaki, has been stood down for the meeting on Wednesday afternoon at Hollywood Bets Greyville. So his replacements in race number 2-3, there are no replacements. There's just a scratching of the 8. Perfectly picked, and of course, a reminder, this is the start of the pick 6. And of course, you need that money. And how else are you going to get it? Use that blue voucher if you have run out of funds or you've already overstretched yourself, and you can be in the play for that pick 6. Now, there's a scratching, 8 perfectly picked, leaving a field of 7. We are in a maiden handicap this time, Gary John. And which way are you going to be leaning?
Cecil, let me just speak on the Miller runners. I do feel Tristan had choice between the 1 and the 7, but I'm slightly leaning towards the 7 over the 1 there, Twilight Bay. I feel like it will enjoy the 1800, the step up in trip, but it's not my first choice. My first choice in this race here is Sandbini. I like the trainer and jockey combination. And just speaking on its form line, it's the only real improver in this race. And I feel like these horses have had their chances, and this horse is on the improve, stepping up in ground. It loved to step up last time. I really feel if this horse shows any signs of improvement, it will beat this field. I have gone field in my pick 6 because I found the race open, but my first choice will definitely be number 2, Sandbini.
Sandbini comes out of that race where we had that odds-on favorite from the Frikkie Grayling stable that unfortunately didn't have a good race, but there were excuses that were detected afterwards. Field for that first leg, including the scratch number 8, and thereafter you're looking at an outlay of 960. It's an off time of 13:35, and don't forget, if at the last minute you find yourself at a loose end, go to your local convenience store and get that blue voucher. All right, so we move on to the first jackpot, the first of 2 jackpots, 8 race programs. So it'll be back-to-back jackpots, races 4 and 5, the commencement of the 2 exotics respectively. We do have a replacement for Craig Zaki in race number 4, and it's on the 4. Notable, it will now be Calvin Abib, who will deputize for Craig Zaki. A field of 7 for this merit rated 66, so going over the mile. And looking at the betting itself, the 7. Fair Advantage was top of the boards overnight at 15-10. That is Rachel Fenniger, who rode it recently, or once upon a... No, she hasn't ridden this one, but it is a recent, of course, and a maiden winner. One of the few that she hasn't ridden for the Nell stable. Now, as far as race number 4 is concerned, I know that Fair Advantage you respect, but not your first choice.
Cecil, I do respect Fair Advantage. I made it a boat race between Brave Bomber and Fair Advantage. I'm definitely going to lean towards Brave Bomber over Fair Advantage. I do know Fair Advantage is 1 from 1 on the poly. I'm just a bit scared of that form line. There hasn't been many horses that have performed out of it. I do know this is a weak bunch, so you have to respect it. Now, going to my first choice, Brave Bomber, just going back to its run to the actor, I really think this form line is very strong. We know Artist Model come out to win twice there. And then when it tried the poly for the first time, where it ran second over the 1900 to Chile in the air, Brave Bomber was 9 lengths clear of the 3rd horse this day. And I remember this race. It moved up like it was going to win. If it was 1600, it probably would have won that race. When it did win over the 1600, it won very well. I'm expecting a lot of improvement from Brave Bomber. I think this is definitely worth a bet in my eyes. If not, you guys can box the exacta, but I'm strong in the camps of Brave Bomber over Fair Advantage.
Okay, so that is a very confident selection there, Brave Bomber, well backed up by the 3 National Award, who also looks to have a bit of a come-on look. That is the first jackpot, Banker the one, as you heard the man. Very bullish, and he's just gone the 2 horses at the back. 30 Rand is the total outlay. Well, I see that bullishness will not be too evident when we discuss with Gary John the start of Jackpot 2, but I can confirm that the 5 is a scratching. A very impressive back-to-back winner in the form of Regeneration in the colors of Peggy Suma Sundram with Robbie Hill. That'll be a non. It just ran Sunday gone. So 7 runners left in the field. And Sean Veal deputizes for Craig Zaki on a very fluent winner, first-time Polly, and that is 8 Ginger Delight. Gary John, the time that Ginger Delight won over that 1400, and when you compare it with the horses like Volare Emambo, also over the 1400, it is far, far superior. But obviously, you've got to take in all the different elements, the weather, the wind, etc. But you can only do what you do. But I do respect the Volare Emambo, especially with Marco aboard.
Cecil, I have to agree with you with Valet Mambo. I'm willing to ignore it to Warrior Royale. Just going back to its poly run, it ran a great race to Little Black Velvet. And just going back to its run Safari Pegasus at Turffontein, I think that was also a very good run in my opinion. This race is a very tough race in my eyes. I have a respect for lots of horses. Also, Ginger Delight. It won really well last time, coming off a rest and trying the surface for the first time. I thought it was very impressive in my eyes. And then just speaking on Alpha Betty, it's a bit of a lurker in the pack in my eyes. I think its form line, its Joburg form line is very strong. 6 lengths Queen of Love, 5 lengths Olivia's Way. We saw Olivia's Way win that nice race in Joburg. And just going back to Alabama and Mary's Green Light beating Wings, this form line's definitely strong enough to beat a bunch like this. But I can't give you any confidence in this race. I find it very open. I couldn't really stick my neck out for any horses, yeah.
2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. Those are the numbers to that first leg of Jackpot 2. And again, a very, very, very affordable outlay of 30 Rand for the full unit. The off time to race number 5 is 14:45. All right, so you're with us on the way to win home of the Betway PSL and, of course, home of the Summer Cup, which is now just about 10 days away. But, of course, today it all comes together with the final barrier draw. And, of course, we had some big news breaking yesterday, and that is leading a Western Cape-based rider, Mr. Aldo de Meyer, has picked up the ride on one of our star performers, and that is the main defender. So that'll be Aldo de Meyer, who has been declared on a main defender. Let's see where they get the draw. Let's get to race number 6, the last chance to get involved in a pick 3. And in race 6, you can put a line through the 4 Whispers of War, and you can now pencil in Mr. Serena Moodley on what is the favorite and the best bet in computer form, and that is the Fred Krabbe owned number 6 Royal Swan Master. The market rival is the 2 Irish Luck, also pretty short, and that is Kabela Matsinyane for the Duncan Owl stable. Can you separate the two, or are you very much in the corner of what has been meeting stronger? And that is number 6 Royal Swan Master, Mr. Gary John.
Cecil, once again, yeah, I found this race a bit tricky. I only went the 3 horses, 1, 5, and 6. Number 6, Royal Swan Master, definitely has the best form in my eyes. My only question mark is the drop back to the 1600, and it does lose lengths at the start. If this horse doesn't lose lengths today, it should definitely walk home. And then just speaking on number 1, Forced to Do, I've also got a question mark of the step up to the 1600. It has had a poly run before over the 2,000 meters and 6.9 lengths code of conduct. But obviously this horse has come on. The only reason why I added this horse in is because it does show a lot of gate speed, and I don't see the speed being on here. So it's going to have everything its own way. So maybe it will see out the trip today. But my first choice, funny enough, in this race is Rodriguez. A lot of things are pointing to this horse, course and distance. Just going back to it, I'm willing to ignore its last run to Imperial Power. Going back to its previous form to Salukwe, Shoefella, Ross Codes. I think this horse is good. The form line's good enough to win a race like this. I'd like to see it in the race today, but it's definitely my first choice. Yeah, I've opted for an exacta box 5 and 6. I think it can pay money with the 5 being there.
Okay, and the 5 actually winning would certainly pay good money. That's the suggested bet for race number 6, also the first leg of the last pick 3. So you can base your pick 3 around those 2 horses and maybe throw in Irish Luck as well if you just want to be double sure. All right, so we are now into our first leg of the last double of the afternoon, available at Greyville. It is the Gallop TV YouTube channel 60, Phillips Mayor 65 rather, to go over the 1400 meters. And looking at the bet in the 1 Purple Flower is as short as 16 to 10. The 6 Drive By 3 to 1. Number 3 Ocean Palace 4 to 1. 4 to 1 about the 7, and that is the Supernova. Now there has been a nibble at the 2 Miss Liana, and that is into 7 to 1. 11 to 1 about the 5 Perfect Trust, and the outsiders the 4 Roy Taking Off. Now, of course, we know Miss Liana, all 5 wins have come over the 1400, and of those 5 wins, it's all been on the poly. Is slowly dropping down in the merit rating. Would you give that a value chance, a value bet type chance?
So I left it out, my bets. I really like number 6 here, Drive By. I think it's going to love the 1400 today. It's also been unlucky in its last couple starts. I think today it should reverse the form line on Purple Flower. I do have respect for Purple Flower. I don't see much in it with the 1 and the 6, but I have to lean towards the 6 slightly over the 1. My third choice would be number 2. I'm just a little bit scared the run is coming a bit soon, but it is ultra consistent course and distance. You have to respect it. I don't blame you one bit for adding number 2 in, but I really like Drive By. I think it's going to get it right.
At least you're very consistent with your horses. You have been a Drive By fan for some time, and hopefully it comes right for you today. That is Gary John's suggested win bet. 100 Rand on that at around a 3 to 1. Drive By at a 3 to 1, and you would show that good profit. That is race 7 off at 5 to 4. All right, just a couple of changes to update you on this time. It is this morning for Wednesday afternoon racing that we are discussing these changes. The four-doing time is a scratching, and then weight adjustments. The apprentice, Mr. Pillay, who's to ride the 6 Monaco, will only claim 3 of his 4 kg apprentice allowance. And the 7 Grand Oasis, to be partnered by Informed Chase Mojan, will come in plus 1 kg. And that's the changes we can give you. Now, Katavar has been knocking on the door very, very loudly and is your favorite at 22 to 10. 5 to 2 is the 8 Amor Fati. The 3 Sovereign Command is a 3 to 1. 9 to 2, the 1 Mo King. And then it's 6 to 1 and Better Bar though. Sovereign Command is the selection of Durban selection specialist in the computer form, Javain Maharaj. Katavar, now given the speed that it shows, Gary John, you'd have thought it would have been much, much more suited to the poly. And I see so far 2 goes on the poly, and it is yet to trouble the judges. But today, maybe the day.
Cecil, I don't really like Katavar, I must admit. Just knowing when it did run on the poly to salt and pepper 9.6 lengths, Amor Fati was in the field that day, beat it quite easily. Out of all the Durban runners here, Amor Fati has everything stone cold here. But my value play and my value play for the day is Grand Oasis. I know this horse doesn't have much form, but the one run that sticks out to me a lot is the run to Corrupt, where it was drawn up the inside in Joburg. There was a lot of winners out that form line. Zafar, 12 o'clock high, Fetching Flyer came out to win twice, and Potberry. I know they were trying to teach this horse to run on because it showed a bit of speed and it's early in its career. I think they've made the right move, bringing it to the poly. Today, I'd like to see it up there. And I think if this horse hits the front Grand Oasis, I think it's going to be a very hard horse to peg back today. But I do have a lot of respect for Amor Fati. I see that as the clear danger. But I think at 7 to 1 Grand Oasis, definitely have a bet on it.
You're a good man, Gary John. Enjoy your Wednesday afternoon, and we will be following your selections with great interest. The last being an each-way selection. Number 7, Grand Oasis, currently at 6 to 1 for the visiting stable of Robin Clausen with Informed Chase Mojan aboard.